Remember this? A flour tortilla stuffed with seasoned ground beef and melty cheese. Deep fried until perfectly crisp and golden brown. Smothered in a flavorful green chili sauce and topped with a generous dollop of sour cream. Like E.T., the 80s are calling, and we're answering with one of the decade's most iconic dishes. If you grew up in the 80s or the 90s, chances are you've heard of Chi-Chi's, the restaurant. They may not have invented the chimichanga, but they certainly made it famous, even proudly proclaiming themselves home of the chimichanga. Founded in 1975 in Richfield, Minnesota, of all places, by restaurateur Marno McDermott and former NFL star Max McGee, the restaurant was named after Marno's wife, whose nickname was Chi-Chi. Needless to say, she must have been quite the lady to inspire that nickname. Today, with Mexican restaurants in nearly every city across America, it's easy to take Mexican food for granted. But back in the 70s and 80s, that wasn't the case. For millions of Americans, Chi-Chi's was Mexico.
Chi-Chi's, when you feel a little Mexican.
Okay, not really. But for many, it was their first introduction to Mexican-inspired food at a time when most family, casual dining restaurants were still focused on all-American comfort classics, pizzas, or even steak. Chi-Chi's wasn't just a restaurant, it was an experience. From the colorful decor, the festive atmosphere, the bottomless chips and salsa, and those giant margaritas made it feel like a celebration. Some might say, a celebration of food. And don't forget the fried ice cream, so good. So today, we're plating up Chi-Chi's classic seasoned ground beef and cheese chimichanga and testing whether or not it still lives up to the memories. Let's get started by making that special sauce. Add 2 tablespoons of oil to a small pot or pan over medium heat. Once it's heated, add the flour and fully mix into the oil. You're making a light roux, so you only need to cook this for about 5 minutes to cook out that raw, nasty flour taste. After 5 minutes, add your onions and let them cook for about 3 minutes. Slowly add cool water, little at a time. Remember, always add cool liquid to a hot roux or hot liquid to a cool roux. Fully incorporate the water and roux before adding more liquid. Once you've combined all the water with the roux, now you can add the 2.5 cans of green chilies. These chilies come in both mild or hot, which really isn't that hot if you ask me, but use whichever you prefer based on your spice preference. Add the chicken bouillon, onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, and what I like to call magical seasoning goodness. Yeah, it's just MSG, but it adds a +5 modifier to your flavor roll, so why wouldn't you use it? Let the sauce come up to a boil, then reduce the heat to a simmer. Now, let's make the seasoned beef. When I worked at Chi-Chi's in the 90s, I remember them cooking large chubs of beef in a tilt skillet and then adding a packaged spice mix. So many spice mixes. There were no listed ingredients, so nobody had a clue what spices were exactly inside of it. But I've got a pretty good idea, and I'm going to share it with you. Get a pan warmed up over medium heat. Add some oil. Once it's hot, add your white onions and let them soften for about 3 minutes. Then add your ground beef. I'm using 80-20, but you can use leaner if you want. You're not looking to develop a great sear or color, so just break it up. Add the salt, add the onion powder, and the garlic powder. When the beef is about 90% cooked, add the green chilies. Again, use mild or hot based on your preference. Then add the magical seasoning goodness. Yeah, we're doubling down. Finally, add the ground cumin. That's it. Now set this aside and we can begin assembling our chimichangas. But before you do, make sure you have everything you're gonna need, because once we get started, things are gonna move quickly. Because these are chimichangas, you're gonna need some oil for frying. I like to use peanut oil, but you can use any other neutral flavored oil like vegetable or canola. I'm gonna deep fry mine just like they did at the restaurant, but you can shallow fry or even air fry if you prefer. In a pot large enough to accommodate your chimis, add about 3 inches of oil, no more than 2/3 of your pot's capacity. And go ahead and start heating that up to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. For this recipe, you're gonna need 3 10-inch flour tortillas. Now, I would look for the thinnest flour tortillas you can find because they crisp up the best. I'll link my favorite in the description box below. And you'll need some toothpicks to secure your chimis after you roll them, or you can use a paste of 1 part flour to 1 part water, like I am. You'll need a blend of cheddar and Monterey Jack cheese. You shouldn't have any difficulty finding a pre-shredded option at most grocery stores, but I prefer grating my own because I dislike the anti-caking agents that they usually add. But you do what works best for you. Chi-Chi's definitely use pre-shredded cheese, so maybe there's some magic in that cellulose. First, you need to make your tortillas pliable so it's easier to work with and won't tear on you. You can either warm it in a dry skillet over medium for about 15 seconds, or put it in the microwave for about 10 to 20 seconds, depending on your wattage. Place your tortilla in front of you and imagine that your tortilla has an equator. You want to scoop 4 ounces, or roughly 3/4 of a cup of your seasoned beef, just south or below that equator. Sprinkle with 1 to 2 ounces of your cheese blend. Add more if you like, but remember, you have to close this sucker, so don't overstuff it. Fold in both the left and right sides. Then fold the side closest to you over and slightly north of the filling. Then pull that same edge back, tightening the filling within the tortilla. Now, using your fingers or brush, smear the side farthest away from you with a bit of your flour glue. Continue folding your chimney until it's sealed. Slightly press on top just to evenly distribute the filling. And repeat with the remaining 2 tortillas. All right, you're done assembling your chimichangas, so it's time to fry. Make sure you have a thermometer or an infrared thermometer like me, just to keep an eye on that temperature to make sure that you're around 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And have a baking sheet with a wire rack to drain your chimis after frying. You could just use paper towels if you don't have a wire rack. Also, have a spider or tongs handy to handle your chimis and to submerge them under the oil if they float. Now carefully lower your chimney into the oil. It should only take you around 2 to maybe 4 minutes to fry, so long as your temperature is holding steady. Remove it once it's looking golden brown and delicious, and let drain on your wire rack while you fry the remaining chimichangas. While you're cooking, you can keep your already fried chimichangas warm in the oven if you like, or you can simply flash fry them just before serving. I think it's that time. Well, there's only one thing to do. Let's cut into this bad boy, shall we? Let's get a bite here. A little bit of sour cream, a little bit of sauce, and a whole lot of chimney. Who says you can't go back home? This is just as delicious today as it was in the 80s. Now, if you're young and you were born after the 80s and you have absolutely no idea what a Chi-Chi's restaurant is, now you can experience a little bit of that magic with this dish. Now, as for me, and as some of you may know from watching my previous videos, I like to end the night with an adult beverage after a long day of shooting and cooking. And I can't think of anything more appropriate. Oh my God, they're so good. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. I hope you liked it. And if you did, I hope you'll give it a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite Chi-Chi's menu item or memory? Until next time, eat well and be well. And I hope you enjoy many more memorable food adventures in your future. Fried ice cream.